Hey, what's up guys? It's Stargirl.thepracticalwitch and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another monthly prediction video where I tell you what you can expect January 2020 based on your zodiac sign. So if you know your rising sign, sun sign, and moon sign, be sure to go to the timestamps I provide down below and listen to all three of those predictions, because all three of those predictions are going to give you an accurate representation of what you can expect January 2020, which is the first month of the decade. So there's a lot of positive changes and blessings coming for everyone. Now, if you don't know your rising sign or moon sign, that's okay. Your sun sign is going to be accurate too. However, as usual, your rising sign will always be the most accurate. So I'm really excited to get started on this January 2020 prediction based on astrology. But now that I've said my part, let's go right on into the predictions. So Aries, this is what I see for you January 2020. First of all, Aries, it's going to be a very positive month for you because your first house ruler, which is Mars, which controls your energy levels and your body and your mood, is going to be in the 9th house of Sagittarius, which is a fellow fire sign. So Aries, you are going to be feeling a lot more optimistic, a lot more positive. That depression you were going through in November and December is finally going to go away because Mars has exited your 8th house of Scorpio and has entered your 9th house of Sagittarius. So your energy levels and your optimism is going to be on a rise. You're going to be feeling a lot more confident. Now, the reason why you had to go through that depression December and January is because you were meant to transform yourself in a big way. So Aries, if you noticed, you're not the same person you were at the beginning of the year of 2019 and now. Your personality has changed, your appearance has probably changed. You have started to turn into a more authentic person who doesn't care what people think, and a more empowered person. And that Mars and Scorpio transit, when you were going through that depression, was supposed to solidify those changes. That's why you had to go through that. But now in Aquarius season, which is the season of karmic reward, a lot of Aries are about to become rewarded for all of the transformations that they have done. Now, I also want to say, Aries, I know that this past year, because K2 Jupiter is in your 10th house, a lot of you could have had sudden ups and downs in your job, your career, or at school. You might have issues or had issues with a father or authority figures. A lot of you guys could have suffered a lot of loss in regards to your public image, your career, your job, or with your father. I want you to know the world is not out to get you. That was just the karma you needed to go through, the ups and downs you needed to go through, but that's finally going to be over, okay? We're exiting out of those troubling times and we're entering into better ones, especially if you're someone who really learned your lesson from those challenging karmic situations. So if you guys healed your relationship with your father, if you guys decided to become more authentic, if you guys have just transformed in a more positive way, you're going to see a lot of good karma manifest for you in Aquarius season. And specifically what I see for you guys is, because this is your house of wishes coming true, your wishes, your manifestations are going to come true January 2020. Now, Aries, I do see, because your sun is going to be in your 11th house, this means I see a lot of Aries in January socializing a lot more than normal, or being a lot more social than they normally are. So you are going to notice you're hanging around lots of groups of people. You're going to notice that you're running into more people than ever before in January. You're also going to notice for some Aries, especially Aries risings, that you join creative groups or you do something creative with a group of people. Those are all things that I see. So definitely expect to be amongst more people, joining groups, or being in a creative group. Now, I do want to warn you, Aries, because Mars, your first house ruler, is going to be in the 9th house of Sagittarius, because your sun, your ego, is going to be in the 11th house of groups of people. A lot of you may have issues with authority. A lot of you might want to talk back to your teacher, to your boss, to authority figures. A lot of you guys might run into a lot of power struggles with people in authority. In January, if you feel the urge to talk back to someone in authority, please refrain, because Jupiter is going to be in your 10th house, and that for Aries is not so good, because this means you could potentially get in a lot of trouble. So if you feel that anger coming up when someone tells you what to do, try to deal with it in a very respectful way. And that's the biggest thing I need to tell you, because you are going to be feeling very rebellious. You are going to want to talk back to people. You are going to want to rebel against people who try to tell you what to do. Try to be aware and stop yourself from that, because that could ruin your good karma that I see coming in for you. Some more good karma I see coming in for you is Venus is going to be in your 11th house, and Venus rules your 2nd house of assets and your 7th house of partnerships. So for Aries who have been manifesting money, for Aries who had money issues, for Aries who have been manifesting love, those are all things I see manifesting in Aquarius season, where wishes and good karma come true, because Venus rules those houses. Now I do want to tell you, if you do enter any relationship, because it's Aquarius season, it will likely start out as a friendship before it progresses to anything more, or you're likely going to meet this person amongst a group of people, or you're likely going to be, like I said, friends with this person first. Aries, because Mars is in your 9th house, you are definitely going to notice too that you are a lot more interested in school, philosophy, religion, or you're going to take some sort of trip or be interested in traveling. Okay guys, so January is definitely going to have that major feel towards it, where you're going to be talking a lot about philosophy, religion, or you could be more invested in your schoolwork if you go to school, or you could be doing some sort of traveling. Now if you are a woman who is an Aries, I definitely feel like, because Mars is Sagittarius in your 9th house, you're going to be attracting a lot of males in your life who are very into spirituality, or you're going to be attracting a lot of males in your life who are teachers, who are into spirituality, or males who have like Sagittarius like traits. So that's all I have for you, Aries. I hope you have a fantastic month, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hi Taurus, this is your January 2020 prediction. I'm so excited to get into this for you, because we have a lot of good things coming up. Now, like I was telling the other groups, Aquarius is the season of karmic reward and karmic justice. So any karma you need to work through, bad or good, is going to come up. So for those of you, you might have to pay a karmic debt, but also you're going to get some sort of reward for anything good you have done in the past few years. And this is a very big transit because of the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. So let's get right on into it. First of all, Taurus, I really want to warn you about, thinking before you speak, because you have the North Node in your 3rd house of Cancer, which means you have a tendency to speak with emotion or speak without thinking, and this is something that could land you a lot of trouble, because there's going to be a full moon in Cancer in your 3rd house. So Taurus, be very careful of anything you post on social media. Think about what you say before you say it, because anything you say out of emotion before thinking could really hurt you in Aquarius season, guys. And I don't want to scare you, I just want to give you that warning to make sure you guys don't get in trouble, because I love you guys, but I do want to warn you about that. Be very careful about the things you post. Be very careful about the things that you say. Be sure to think before you speak instead of just speaking, because those things could bite you in the butt later on. Now, the positive things I see coming for you, Taurus, are actually really amazing, because your 1st house ruler Venus, which rules your body and your personality, and also your 6th house of work, is going to be in your 10th house of Aquarius, which means, Taurus, is if you've been working towards something, if you've been working hard on anything, like for instance, if you've been working really hard at your job, or if you've been working really hard at school, or working really hard on a certain talent, all of your past hard work is finally going to reap reward for you in January 2020. And you are going to see recognition for the work that you have done in the past. And especially, Taurus, if you've been working towards something that has a higher purpose, or something that you are truly passionate about. So Tauruses, if you have been really working towards something that's in alignment with your soul, which means you feel happy about it, which means you love it, which means you've been doing it with integrity, your hard work is going to pay off for you in Aquarius season, the season of karmic reward. And because it's in your 10th house, you are going to get recognition recognition for that hard work well done. Okay, guys, so that's how your good karma is going to manifest. Now, on the flip side, guys, if you have been, you know, in a job that's not in alignment with you, or if you've been working towards something you don't really believe in, that could come back in Aquarius season as, you know, having issues with coworkers, specifically female coworkers. That could come up as having a lot of disputes at your job, okay? Because the universe gives you signs you're not working towards the right thing, or you're not on the right path. If you never have a win, if you're constantly failing. So Tauruses, you might notice if you're not on the right path, you do have issues with women or coworkers, or there's a lot of conflict in your everyday life. And don't worry if that happens. That just means the universe is trying to push you towards your right path, okay, guys? Now, I do want to tell you guys as well is that the sun is going to be in your 10th house of Aquarius, which means that a lot of you who are at work or are at school, you're going to be feeling a lot more focused on work or at school. So if you're someone who has a hard time focusing, or you don't feel very motivated, or you have a hard time getting things done in January, that's not going to be an issue because the sun's lighting up your 10th house. Your first house ruler is in the 10th house. So a lot of you guys are going to be feeling a lot more dedicated, a lot more motivated, and also a lot more productive. Now, Tauruses, I also want to tell you that some of the karma that manifests for you is in regards to your health, okay? Because your first house ruler also rules your 6th house of health. So for some Tauruses who have been eating bad, for some Tauruses who have not fixed their diets, for some Tauruses who have unhealthy addictions, those are all things that are really going to come up for you in January, the season of karmic reward, and you're going to have to address those things. And the universe, with this Jupiter Ketu conjunction, is going to force you to address anything that's no longer serving you, okay? That's why this month is such a big month, because of these heavy transits. So it brings a lot of good, but it also forces you to cut out things that are no longer serving you and is actually ultimately leading to your destruction. So once again, this could manifest as like you needing to change your health or become more healthy, or you needing to walk away from a job, friends, or situations because those people are holding you back from being on the path you need to be on. So Tauruses, I really see the universe right now is pushing you towards religion, towards spirituality. It's pushing you towards also being a lot kinder to others, with Cancer in your 3rd house and the North Node. So those are all things that I see could be healed for you and healing your karma. So, you know, going to school, speaking with authenticity, being kind to people, healing people with your words, speaking with meaning, speaking from your heart, creative writing. Those are, and like speaking with sincerity, and also having a very open mind, or having a very empathetic mind in your perception and how you view people. Those are all things that are going to manifest good karma for you. So, you know, be kind to people, speak kindly of others, think kindly of others for you, Taurus. And I'm not saying that as a cheesy advice thing. I'm seeing it in your chart, okay? Especially if you're rising. Do this and you will manifest good karma. Speak kindly, think before you speak, and it will manifest as very good things for you in regards to work, career, recognition, and all of that stuff. And also, I just want to add this in, always do things from the sincerity of your heart. Always be like with your work, anything you do, anything you say, how you treat people, always do things from the sincerity of your heart, not for any agenda, not for any like because you want money, because you want this. Do things because your heart feels aligned with it. And if you do that, Taurus, in January, you're going to be set up for a lot of good karmic reward, a lot of good success. And I know this sounds crazy, but astrology is cycles. Astrology dictates our karma. And I'm giving you a cheat sheet, guys. These are all things you can do to fix your karma. Now, I do want to tell you, since Mars is coming out of your 12th house into your 8th house, guys, a lot of you who are women, Taurus women, you could experience some drama when it comes to males in your life. I am seeing that, guys, okay? So you could experience like some not so nice situations with males. You know, you might get into drama with males. But if you're a Taurus male, this could also mean that a lot of you guys could be feeling a lot more introverted, but only if you're a male or you identify as male in January, because Mars rules the male energy, and that's going to be hidden in your 8th house. So male Tauruses might feel introverted, whereas female Tauruses might feel extroverted. But because there's a new moon in your 10th house of Aquarius, guys, in January, I see for a lot of Tauruses positive new beginnings in your career, or positive new beginnings in a healing relationship with your father. So anything to do with 10th house matters. So Tauruses, you might notice you change your job, or you get a second job, or there's like you get a raise and that's a new beginning at your work, or something in your work changes where there's a new beginning in your job or your routine. So that's all I have for you, Taurus. I hope you have a fantastic month, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, Gemini, so this is your January 2020 prediction, and I see a lot of good things for you, Gemini. So first of all, I see you're going to be feeling so creative. So for those of you who have a creative hobby, for those of you who have a creative interest, you are really going to want to start exploring that in January 2020, or you're going to want to start putting your creativity out there. So it could be even as small as, let's say you like knitting, you might start posting your knitting on social media or being a lot more proud of it. Or for those of you who were into, music or drawing in the past, you're going to want to pick that up again in January 2020. Or for those of you who are just naturally creative people, like, you express yourself creatively, you have a lot of creative interest, you're going to notice in January 2020, you're going to start taking that a lot more serious, and you're going to want to be a lot more dedicated about it, because the sun, which is your 3rd house ruler, is going to be in the 9th house. So I see a lot of Geminis wanting to put their art out there, wanting to put their creativity out there. You guys might notice you start posting more on social media, or you start showing your art more off to the people around you, or you might notice you feel the urge to share your art with other people when before you never really wanted to. So definitely expect to be very creative in the month of January 2020, and I actually see creativity being your biggest escape and one of the most therapeutic things you can do for yourself. Some of you could even have to do like a public speaking presentation at school or at work, or you might be forced to become a public speaker in some way at school or at work, or do some sort of presentation. So Gemini, in January 2020, definitely expect to be showcasing your art to more people. Definitely expect to have to talk in front of a large group of people, or anything that relates to those themes in January 2020. Because Mars rules your 11th house, and it also rules males in your life, Gemini, I see a lot of Geminis are going to attract a lot of male figures in their life. In January 2020, a lot of males from your friend group could admit their feelings for you. You might notice you have a lot more male partnerships. You might notice that you're speaking or interacting with a lot more males, or you might notice that you're being pursued from a lot of males in January 2020. So definitely expect a huge influx of male presence, or people who identify as male, entering in your life. Now, if you're a Gemini who is a male, I definitely see that you will be pursuing someone, or you will be very interested in somebody in January 2020, and you're going to be interested in starting a relationship with them. Okay, Gemini? So it really depends if you identify as male or female, because if you are female, the Mars energy represents outside males coming into your life. However, if you are a male, it represents your energy. So it really depends on what you identify with. Now, Gemini, this is probably going to be towards the end of January during Aquarius season, but towards the beginning of January, because your 1st house ruler, your 4th house ruler is going to be in the 8th house, and also the sun is going to be in your 8th house. Gemini, towards the beginning of January, you could be feeling very introverted, okay? That's completely normal. It's just the energy. Now, for some Geminis, because the sun, which is your speech, is in your 8th house, this could also mean that a lot of you could take a break from social media, or if not a break from social media, you could have drama with your siblings, or if not that, a lot of you could become very interested in, hidden secrets, or a lot of you may be entrusted with a lot of secrets, or be keeping a lot of secrets. Those are all things that are going to be major themes in the beginning of January. Feeling introverted, keeping a lot of secrets, having a lot of secrets, dealing with changes in the home, drama in the home, or just being someone who needs to be secluded and by themselves, okay? But towards the end of January, that's going to get so much better for you. And during the season of karmic reward and karmic justice, I do see a lot of blessings for you guys, specifically in the realm of your creative gifts being awoken, because you have the North Node in your 2nd house of skills and talents, and the North Node expands expands everything. So Gemini, right now, your talents are being expanded by that North Node. And because of that, in Aquarius season, towards the end of January, I see that whatever talent you've been working towards or building, or whatever talent you felt passionate about, you're going to start expressing that to a large group of people, or putting your work out there and having the confidence to do that in January. Now, Geminis, I also want to tell you something as well. Your North Node is in your second house of speech, which means that I had this transit last year, I believe. This means that anything to do with public speaking, singing, or your throat, you have a very magnetic way about the way you sing, the way you talk. So if you wanted to pursue singing, or if you needed to do any sort of public speaking in January 2020, this is going to be blessed for you. So if you're worried about public speaking, or if you're worried about putting yourself out there, don't be worried, because you have that North Node in your second house of speech. So you're gonna do great. So don't psych yourself out too much. Now, kind of like the Tauruses, because you guys are so close together, I do want to tell you, watch before you speak, watch before you say anything, Gemini, because your speech, like things you say without thinking in this season of karmic justice and reward, could really bite you in the butt. And I'm not saying that ever to scare you. I'm saying that because I want to keep you guys from, you know, going through that. I want to keep you guys from trouble. So definitely think before you speak, and definitely think before you post on social media, because those are all things that I could see really hurting you later on. So that's all I have for you, Gemini. I hope you have a fantastic January, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hi Cancer, this is your January 2020 prediction. So for you Cancer, this past year has probably been the biggest for you in regards to partnerships, business partnerships, in regards to romantic partnerships, in regards to friendships, and also your public image, the way you present yourself to other people. Those were all major themes for you in January 2020 because of all of these heavy transits in your 7th house. Now for you Cancer, this is really going to be solidified in January 2020 with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. So what I'm seeing for you Cancer is that in January 2020, a lot of you are going to enter into some sort of relationship, or some sort of romantic relationship is going to start for you, especially if you're a Cancer rising, because recently there was a solar eclipse, which means a new beginning in your 7th house. So Cancer, you're going to notice in January, you're going to start making those romantic connections, or you could start making those business partnerships or friendships that are very beneficial for you and change your life in a very big way. So Cancer, for you, the whole theme is relationships, and in January, you're going to bump elbows with a lot of different people. You're going to make a lot of big decisions in regards to your friendships, romantic relationships, or business partnerships, and these people are going to play a big role for you in leading you to your destiny. Now, a big message I got for you Cancer is, because the North Node is in your 1st house, this means the past year since the North Node went in there, you were being forced to learn to trust your intuition. As a Cancer, but specifically if you're a Cancer rising, you do have a lot of intuitive feelings. You're naturally intuitive. You feel things on your body, you feel energy on your body, you might have hunches, okay? That's why a lot of Cancers suffer from anxiety or depression or mood swings, not only because the moon, your planetary ruler, circles around the chart, but also because Cancers are just naturally intuitive. So with the North Node in Cancer, you're being forced to listen to your intuition about people. You're being forced to trust your intuition instead of relying on what other people say you should do. That's a very big theme for you Cancer. So in January 2020, if you're deciding to enter a romantic relationship, listen to your intuition, okay guys? Because the universe with these karmic nodes are forcing you to develop and trust your intuition, okay? Because your intuition, if you've noticed, if you're a Cancer rising especially, has been pretty spot on, but some of you decide to ignore your intuition or feel unsure about your intuition, because this is something as a Cancer right now you're still developing with these karmic nodes. But I really recommend Cancer, if you do enter a romantic relationship, a friendship, or business partnership, to listen to your intuition, because your intuition is going to steer you in the right place in regards to these people. Because in Aquarius season, the season of karmic reward and karmic justice. We get our karmic rewards, but also we have to go through some karma. And for you in Aquarius season, your second house ruler, which is your skills and talents, the sun, is going to be in the 8th house of Aquarius, which means, Cancer, I see a lot of you combining your talents or your assets with somebody else. A lot of you are going to enter some sort of relationship where you have to be very vulnerable with the other person, either business-wise, where you have to share like money, or either romantic-wise, where you have to learn to be intimate with someone else, or maybe even a really close friendship where you guys share things you wouldn't normally share, okay? So you're definitely going to be a lot more intimate with someone in January. You're definitely going to be combining something very valuable with someone else, whether it's secrets, whether it's trust, whether it's money, whether it is, you know, talents, like combining your talents with somebody else. But you're definitely going to be very busy with partnerships and combining what's valuable to you with somebody else. So this is going to be a month of intimacy for you and starting new, very important relationships. Like I said, any kind of relationship, but for a lot of you it's romantic or business wise. And always listen to your intuition about certain people who come into your life, because you are learning how to trust your intuition, and your intuition does not lie. With the North Node in the 1st house, this amps up everything, which means your intuitive feelings are amped up. Do not doubt those intuitive feelings. Follow your intuitive feelings and trust yourself. That's a very big message I heard for you guys. Now, for some Cancers, okay, because the 2nd house is like also your throat, and it's going to be in the 8th house of Aquarius, which is groups of people, the occult. I see a lot of Cancers. You guys are going to be very into the occult, or you're going to be very into conspiracy theories. Or if not that, you're going to notice that a lot of your conversation revolves around tarot, spirituality, or of conspiracy theories. Or you're going to notice that you meet a group of people, or you meet a lot of people who are into those things. Okay, Cancer, so that's what you can expect January 2020. Now, for some Cancers, I also see you might need to invest in something in January 2020, which means you might need to invest in something that will lead to reward in the future. So for some of you, like let's say you're a YouTuber, you have to buy a camera and a ring light, so you have to go out and buy those things, and it sucks, but later on it pays off. So for some Cancers, I really do see you investing in something that will pay off later on, or having to pay, you know, pay off some sort of debt in January 2020. Now, Cancer, back on the relationship thing, Jupiter's South Node is conjunct in your 7th house of Capricorn, which means it brings a lot of sudden ups and downs and a lot of dead ends sometimes, and it's in your 7th house of partnerships. So Cancers, if you are dating around or making friends and it doesn't work out right away, that's okay. Jupiter South Node does that. I do see you are going to meet someone for you, but if you stumble upon a lot of wrong leads, that is okay. Now, for some Cancers who are in a relationship with people who are not the right person for you, some of you could realize like you do go through a separation, but that's only because that person isn't right and there's someone better for you. I am seeing that. I'm just going to put that out there. But if you're in a loving relationship, just ignore that. But I really feel like Cancer, for a lot of you with Jupiter South Node, there's been a lot of unrest, unsatisfaction in your relationships recently. But I see in Aquarius season, this is really going to change. And in the season of karmic reward, if you follow your intuition, and also if you remain authentic to who you are, you will attract the right person in the season of karmic reward, especially if you are someone who has been working on yourself, working on loving yourself, and also following your intuition, because the North Node is what we need to do in order to reap good karma, okay guys? And I really feel like for the Cancers who have been authentic, for the Cancers who have followed your intuition, for the Cancers who have cut off people that are no longer serving you, in Aquarius season, you are going to manifest that right person for you. You are going to manifest that right friendship, romantic relationship, or whatever the case is, especially for Cancer risings. Now, what I do want to tell you also in regards, like besides relationships, Mars is going to be in your 6th house of work and everyday routine, and Mars rules your 10th house of work and everyday routine as well. So Cancers, you are also going to be feeling very motivated at work or at school. I see a lot of Cancers feeling very competitive at work or at school as well, because Mars likes to compete. And when Mars is in your 6th house of enemies and work and competition, I definitely definitely feel like a lot of Cancers will be feeling very competitive at work or at school, or have to compete in some sort of sport. Or if not that, I see a lot of Cancers letting out their extra energy, because you guys are going to have a lot more energy in January on physical activity or like on health or something of that nature. Now Mars also rules the males in your life, the male energy in your life. So if you identify as a female with Mars in your 6th house, this normally means that you are going to be working with a lot of males in your everyday routine, whether it's school or at work. You're going to notice there's a lot more male partnerships or male group activities you have to be a part of, or you're going to notice there's a lot of males specifically that make a huge impact on your life in January 2020 in your work or in your school. So that's all I have for you, Cancers. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, Leo, so this is what I see for you, January 2020, the season of karmic reward with Aquarius season. So your sun, which is your planetary ruler, and it dictates your body and your energy levels, that's going to be in the 7th house of Aquarius towards the end of January. But in the beginning of January, it's going to be in your 6th house. So Leo, what this means is the beginning of January for you is going to be filled with a lot of work, a lot of routine. You might notice that you become a workaholic, or you're very into your school or your work, or you have to put a lot of focus into school or at work, especially if you're a Leo rising. Now you do have Jupiter South Node conjunct in your 6th house. So Leos, what I'm seeing is this brings sudden ups and downs sometimes, okay? So some Leos, recently you could have been struggling with some health issues, or for some Leos, you could have been struggling with some job issues. For some Leos, you could have been struggling with a lot of like conflicts around you. You know, those are all things that come up when Jupiter South Node is conjunct in the 6th house. I want you to know, Leo, that's okay. This is just the karma you have to work through, and if you work through this karma, you will be rewarded in Aquarius season. So Leos, for those of you suffering with health and going through ups and downs with your health, or like if you've been more health focused, I do see this paying off for you. But for some Leos, you might have noticed health issues manifesting, and that's because with your North Node in Cancer, you're being forced to nurture yourself and take it easy and not be such a workaholic. The North Node in Cancer in your 12th house is telling you you need sleep. You need times when you're alone. You need to take a bath. You need to take it easy on yourself, or else your physical health could start to suffer. And for you Leos who are getting like health issues, definitely start fixing that now, because if you do, any healthy eating you do, any healthy workout routine you do is going to lead to an improvement in health. Now for some Leos who are going through ups and downs with conflicts around you, especially at work, or just issues at work, issues with coworkers, issues at school, this is going to be okay. With the North Node in Cancer in the 12th house, this is really teaching you how to be empathetic, how to do things from the sincerity of your heart, and to only do things that you sincerely feel like doing. So Leo, if you've been doing things out of ego, that's going to blow up in your face. The things that you do with sincerity and passion because you feel like it, because you feel called to do it, those things are going to manifest good reward, okay Leo? So that is your karma. And that's how your karma is going to manifest January 2020. If you want your work and school to do well, get a lot of sleep, take care of your body, and also start being genuine and doing things from the trueness of your heart, and you will manifest good blessings, because the North Node in Cancer is teaching us to do things that resonate with us. It's teaching us to take it easy on our bodies. Okay, okay, Leo, I'm sorry if I've been calling you guys Cancers. I know you guys aren't Cancers. But anyway, towards the end of January, the sun's going to be in your 7th house, which means, Leo, I definitely see some sort of interest or focus on partnerships, on group settings. So for instance, for some Leos, I see entering into a relationship or being very focused on a romantic relationship, because the 7th house is romantic relationships. But for other Leos, I definitely see you might join a business partnership, or at school you might have a project where you have to partner up with someone else. Your end of January is going to consist of relationships, and that's what your focus is going to be on, whether it's romantic or business-wise or friendship-wise. And I really feel like with this transit, Leo, a lot of you are going to be working with a business partner at school or at work, or like I said, you could be very focused on getting a relationship or wanting a relationship, and I see that manifesting for you towards the end of January, in fact. Now for Leos who are males, you have Venus in your 7th house in January, which means as someone who identifies as male, you will attract a lot of females into your life. You're going to notice that you have a lot more female friends, a lot more females are interested in you. You might notice that your day is surrounded by more women. So if you're a Leo male, this is really good for you because I definitely see a lot of females being attracted to you. Now, if you're a Leo woman or you identify as a woman, because Venus is going to be in your 7th house, I actually see the same thing. I see that a lot of you guys are going to be making a lot more female friends or working with a lot more females, or a lot of you as well could attract a lot of females in your life who have Aquarius traits. So people who are a little strange, people who are a little different, people who could be a little off the wall. So you could be attracting those Aquarian-like people into your life, whether you're male or female. Now, if you're female, Mars represents the males coming into your life if you're a female Leo. So Mars is going to be in your 5th house of Sagittarius in January, which means that if you're a female Leo, you are going to be attracting a lot of males in your life who are interested in you. So I definitely see this is going to be a big month for Leos in regards to relationships, in regards to romance, because as a female Leo, you are going to be attracting a lot of male energy into your life. And if you're a male Leo, you're going to be attracting a lot of female energy into your life. So Leos are really going to have like a swarm of people or romantic interest around them. And on top of that, because Mars is in your 5th house, no matter what gender you are in Sagittarius, this means that a lot of you are going to be having a lot more fun in January. You're going to be going out and having a lot more fun as opposed to maybe last month when you were feeling a lot more introverted or maybe things weren't as exciting. January 2020 is going to be more exciting for you. You might notice you go out to have fun more, you go out drinking, whatever it is you like to do. You're going to notice that January for you is a time when you're dating, you're having fun, or if you're taken, you and your partner are really focused on each other and you're going out and you're having fun and it's like filled with exciting things to do. Now, the sun in the 7th house is also really good because this means, Leo, a lot of you in January are going to be leading a group of people. A lot of you guys could lead like some sort of group or be a leader amongst a group of people and have an opportunity to showcase your leadership abilities at school or at work. However, because the sun is in your 7th house, this is ego, and your ego in the 7th house isn't really good. So sometimes, Leo, this could also manifest as like fights in relationships, ego battles with your business partners, ego battles with your significant other. So, you know, be very careful in January. If you feel yourself getting angry or like you want to control the situation, try to just step back, get some sleep, you know, take care of yourself. Try not to snap at anyone, Leo, okay? Like that's a very big thing I see for you. And try to remain very humble in regards to interacting with people, because with your sun in your 7th house, you could come off as very demanding or controlling, or there could be a lot of issues in your partnerships if you don't check that. But I'm only warning you because I want you guys to do well. I'm never saying anything to scare you. I'm just letting you know of the energies so you can work accordingly. Anyway, Leo, you guys really need to tone it down. Stop being a workaholic. Okay, I'm really feeling that for you because it's really taking a toll on your body. You guys need to chill out. I know there's going to be a lot of socializing for you in January. There's going to be a lot of fun things you're going to do. There's going to be a lot of connections you're going to make. But the very important thing for you is to get some sleep. Take it easy on your body, or else you could snap at someone and ruin your public image, because the sun is in your 7th house of public image. So if you're not well rested, if you're not like in a place where you feel tranquil, you could do something that could ruin your public image or ruin your relationship. So listen to that North Node in Cancer and really take care of yourself in January 2020. So that's all I have for you, Leo. I hope you have a fantastic January, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hi Virgos, this is what I see coming into your life January 2020. So this is really going to be a time, guys, where first of all, Aquarius season is the season of karmic justice. You have to deal with karma or you get your karmic reward. Now, with the karma, it really depends on the North and South nodes and where they are. And for you, your North node is in the 11th house of Cancer and your South node is in the 5th house of Capricorn, which means, Virgo, a lot of you this year have been pushed into making friendships, into nurturing your friendships, and also into working in groups. Because what I'm seeing from this, Virgo, is a lot of you have lost lost your creative spark. A lot of you have lost your passion, and that's because the universe is trying to push you into working in groups or working in group settings, because when you do that, it will spark your creativity, it will spark your passion, and also that's where you're going to find your fun and joy in life again. But your South Node is where you're comfortable. So Virgos, a lot of you feel comfortable working alone. A lot of you feel comfortable nurturing your own creative talents and keeping it to yourself. But the universe is really pushing you towards sharing that with other people and joining some sort of group, or using your creativity towards a higher cause that helps a lot of people instead of just wanting to create just for the sake of creating. And also a lot of you too are being pushed away from romantic situations and more into romantic situations that start off as friendships. So instead of like having friends with benefits, you know, you're being really pushed into having real connections with people. Or instead of being so focused with romance, you're being pushed into having a romance that's more based on friendship. Or instead of being so focused on romance, you're being pushed to nurture your friendships, because that's what's important for you right now, Virgo, in regards to your karma. So Virgos, if you have been so focused on romance that you have not been making friends, or you haven't been connecting with your friends, or if your romance does not have a basis in friendship, in Aquarius season, you're going to notice, or maybe you already have, that romance falls apart. And that's because the universe is pushing you towards making more friends, connecting with a group, and being open. Or if not that, it's pushing you towards becoming friends with your partner as opposed to just, you know, lovers. Do you know what I mean? So that's what the karma is really doing for you, Virgo, in January 2020. Now, besides that, what I'm also seeing is with your sun being in the 6th house of Aquarius, this means, Virgo, I see a lot of you in January 2020 are going to be very into helping others, doing charity, very into pets, very into social justice. So Virgos, you can notice in January 2020 during Aquarius season, you might want to do some sort of charity. You might be very focused on, you know, saving the lives of endangered animals. You might be someone who's really into social justice, or helping the needy, or helping the homeless. You're just going to be very humanitarian in January with Aquarius season, and you're going to want to help change the world for the better by helping the underprivileged. And I also see, Virgo, in January 2020, a lot of you are probably going to have to work in some sort of group setting at work or at school. And I know for those of you who are introverted, because a lot of Virgos, you know, don't like people, they're very picky, that's going to be a challenge for you. But this challenge is going to bring great reward with the North Node in your 11th house. So even though you might be scared of it, I see it going really well. So definitely expect in January 2020 to be working in a group setting at work or at school, or to be called to do some sort of charity, or, you know, save, you know, endangered animals, or help the underprivileged. And these are all things that are going to reap really good karma for you, Virgo. So if you feel called to do that, definitely do that. Now, what I do want to tell you, Virgo, is Mars is going to be in your 4th house, which means a lot of you guys are going to have some family drama, or issues at home, or drama at home, or fights at home in January 2020. Or if not that, a lot of you could be feeling very restless because Mars is going to be in the 4th house. You might feel the need to get out of your home more. And that's once again because the energies are pushing you towards making those friends, towards joining those groups, towards working towards a higher cause. And Virgo, you're not going to find your creativity or passion unless you get out of your comfort zone in Aquarius season and put your talents and efforts into something that has a higher cause, that helps someone else, or towards, you know, being a part of a group. Those are all things that are going to reawaken your passion and make you feel alive again and bring out your creativity. And I truly feel that for Virgos in January 2020. Now, Virgo, your good and bad karma manifest in the 6th house of Aquarius for you. So your good karma is likely going to manifest with Venus as like an increase in wealth and what it is you're doing, or feeling like what it is you're doing is very valuable. You might also notice, like at work, you're going to notice good karma at work or at school. You could also notice good karma in the fact that you feel very confident and good about what it is you do during the day. You notice good karma in regards to your body getting in shape very quickly, or your health improving. But for some Virgos who are not in alignment and haven't been doing the things that I spoke of, you can notice that you have a lot of enemies around you, or you might notice that you deal with a lot of conflicts every day, and this is just like a sign from the universe that you really need to go out there and meet new people and be using your creative talents towards, you know, a higher cause or with a group of people, okay? So nothing is there to punish you. It's just trying to push you in the right direction. And that's what I see for Virgos in January 2020. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, Libra, so this is what I see for you January 2020. So what I'm seeing is that, first of all, Libra, your speech is going to become a lot more honest, a lot more bold in January 2020, because you have Mars in your 3rd house of speech, thinking, and communication, and it's in the sign of Sagittarius. So Libra, you're going to notice that you're a lot more confident in what you say. You're going to notice like an increase in confidence in how you speak. So before you were too timid to speak or say anything, in January 2020, that timidness is going to go away. You're going to notice that you're a lot more bold in the way you communicate, and you're also going to notice that you're a lot more honest and confident, and you're going to be talking a lot more. You're going to be communicating a lot more with other people. So for instance, you might notice you're on social media more, you're texting more, you're on the phone more. You might also notice as well, like, you're not scared to speak what's on your mind, and you're also a lot more bold in your speech. So that's one thing you can really expect. And because Mars is in that 3rd house, it really brings up your confidence levels. So your confidence is definitely going to be through the roof in January 2020. Now, Mars also rules your 7th house, so because it's going to go into your 3rd house, what this means is if you are a Libra woman, Mars represents the males coming into your life. So males coming into your life, Libra, if you identify as female, are going to reach out to you on social media. They are going to reach out to you through text message. You're going to notice you might be talking on the phone a lot with a certain guy, or you're going to notice you have people slide into your Insta DMs or on Facebook. You might also notice that the person that you're talking to who is a male could live far away or live away from where you do, and you have to talk on the phone with them a lot, okay? So those are all the themes I see for Libras in 2020 in regards to that. Or because it's in your 3rd house, this could mean a lot of you could do a short distance travel to meet someone, such as a romantic interest or a friend, in January 2020. Now, another thing I see for Libras as well is because it's Aquarius season and that lights up your 5th house, this means that Libras are definitely going to join some sort of friend group. They're definitely going to join some sort of creative group with a group of people where you two hang out, or you guys hang out every day in January 2020, or you hang out with them a lot. So Libras, definitely expect to want to be creative with a group of people. Definitely expect to be a lot more social. Definitely expect to be around a lot more people than normal. And definitely expect as well, if it's not creative, I'm seeing you're going to want to go out and have fun with a group of people more. You're going to have the urge to like go out and socialize and have fun. But if you're a Libra who's creative, I definitely see you doing some sort of creative hobby or creative project with a group of people, and that's going to be the main theme for you in January 2020. And for Libras, this is all about group projects, group relationships, and hanging out with your friends. So January is going to be a really great year for you of socialization. But what I do want to tell you is you do have Jupiter South Node in your 4th house, and Jupiter South Node brings a lot of sudden ups and downs. It brings a lot of delays, and that was activated with the solar eclipse at the end of December. So Libra, you might have noticed like you have a lot of family issues weighing you down. You might notice, like, you know, towards the end of December, early January, your emotions are very up and down, or you have a lot of things at home that are holding you back. For some reason, I was hearing guilt. Some Libras could feel a lot of guilt or responsibility towards their family or their home life, or they could just be feeling very up and down in their emotions and operating from the past or out of guilt from the past. But that's only the karma you need to go through, Libra. Everyone has karma, and that's shown with the North and South nodes. The sooner you get over that karma and learn that karmic lesson, the sooner your karmic blessings will start to appear in your life. And for you, Libra, I think that you're like the fears you harbor, the guilt that you harbor, the burdens that you harbor, you can either stay stuck in that and inside of yourself. You could either stay stuck in the past or be burdened down at home, or you could release what's no longer your problem and release those burdens and go out and let yourself achieve, because you have your North Node in the 10th house of Cancer, which means you're being pushed to achieve for yourself. You're being pushed to make your legacy happen, but you're going to have a lot of hurdles keeping you from doing that, such as, you know, guilt from the past or family burdens. It's time for you to release that and heal from it so you can go towards your destiny of the 10th house, of making your career, your reputation happen, of doing things for yourself instead of other people. So guys, in January, don't feel guilty if you want to go out and have fun with other people. Don't feel guilty if you want to go out and be a little selfish and make your dreams come true. You could stay in that mindset of, oh, but I have to do this for this person, or I feel guilty about the past, or you could stay burdened by all of this anxiety that's going on mainly internally and with your family. To be honest, I see most of your karma is happening for you internally in terms of guilt and in terms of, you know, the past just haunting you. Or you could let that go and realize this is a brand new time we're in right now with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. We're going into a new age, the Aquarian age. Leave the past behind and go into making your destiny happen. You're going to be having a lot of contacts in January that you should take, a lot of social invitations you should take. Don't feel guilty. Go out and make your destiny happen, because I see with the North Node in the 10th house, you were born to do this. You were born, like, all the connections that come into your life are there for a reason, and they're going to lead you towards your career or towards your destiny. That's all I have for you, Libra. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, Scorpio, so this is what I see for you January 2020. So Mars is going to be in your second house of speech and also of material assets and possessions. So what this means is that, Scorpio, you are going to be a lot angrier in the way that you talk. You might feel angrier, you might feel more easily triggered in January 2020, where you feel the need to speak very aggressively, because when Mars is in the second house, this normally means like your temper's short, you snap or you yell really quick, or you get frustrated very easily. Now, I want to warn you about the Scorpio. I'm not trying to make anything negative. I just want to warn you that that could be the case, that could be the energy. So if you find yourself being short-tempered, try to watch what you say before you speak it, because your words and your temper might cause you to say things that you later on regret. So be very careful of that. Now, what this also means as well, Scorpio, is I do see like some of you could be having some money problems in January. I think this has already started for some Scorpios, especially Scorpio risings. You might have noticed that you feel like you have, first of all, it manifests different depending on if you're Scorpio rising, sun, or moon. But for Scorpio risings, I see that this Mars is probably impacting your financial situation, where you might have gotten yourself in a little bit of debt. Or if you're a Scorpio sun or moon, I sort of see this as like you guys feel the need to fix up your talents, or you feel the need to reinvent yourself or reinvent your skills because you had some sort of letdown recently that made you feel like you had to reinvent yourself or work on yourself more so you could be more of value to other people or your work or at school. So, you know, this Mars transit for you is really difficult because it brings up matters of feeling worthy or self-worth. So Scorpios, I want you to know it's okay. This transit will pass, whether you're dealing with issues with self-worth or how good you are at certain things, or if you're dealing with issues of seeing just how valuable you are, or if you're dealing with monetary issues, this will pass. It's just Mars in your second house. And what I'm seeing is January, your 10th house ruler is in the 4th house, which means some of you could have suffered some sort of letdown at work or with a business venture, or some of you could have suffered recently with some sort of letdown at school or at work or with like someone you respect. I'm just sort of seeing there's been like some sort of financial, work, or school letdown for you recently. It's been a little bit of a setback, which has really made you question your worth. And I see that for you, Scorpio, and I'm sympathizing with you. But what I do want to tell you is that it's going to be okay. The reason why the universe brought this into your life is because with your North Node and South Node, which is the karmic nodes that dictate your karma, being in your 9th and 3rd house, this means you're being taught to do things that only you truly feel passionate about, because the North Node is in Cancer, which is teaching us to only do things that are genuine, that are real, that resonate with our soul. So Scorpio, if you're doing something that you don't feel passionate about, or if you're doing something where there's a lack of integrity, or Scorpio, if you're doing something just for the sake of doing it for money but you don't really like it, or Scorpio, if you're doing things just because it's the logical thing to do as opposed to what feels right, those things are going to cause you to suffer with these karmic nodes, and that might be why you're experiencing some sort of setback. Or what I'm also seeing as well with this North Node is that you're being taught to have faith in the future, and you're being taught that letdown should not make you stop. That's what your karma is right now, Scorpio. Your karma is learning to have faith in the future, to trust the process and know that better times are coming. Your karma right now is to not be so hard on yourself and to keep going even when you have setbacks, because this is going to build your character, and when you do get it right, it's going to reap rewards. I have failed personally so many times in so many different areas with music. I've failed over and over and over again, but I didn't let it stop me. I kept going and exploring my creativity, and it led me to YouTube. And now I'm so thankful for those setbacks, because those setbacks have made me resilient. And I know it's easy to say now. In that moment, it is difficult, and I get it. It's hard to see, but you're going to see why you had to go through those setbacks. They are learning lessons. So Scorpio, if you've had these like professional work setbacks, it's because you're being pushed to have faith in the future, to keep trying, to not give up, and to build resilience. And the more positive you are about the future, the more good karma is going to manifest for you in Aquarius season, the season of karmic reward. So the more positive you stay, the more you push through and think of new ideas, new ways to succeed, the more you're going to be rewarded in Aquarius season. And also I'm hearing the message of always do things with integrity. Do things out of the pureness of your heart, not for another cause like money. I'm hearing a lot of Scorpios are being called to do things because it resonates with them on a soul level, especially with this North Node in Cancer. We're being called to do things that we feel are right, that nurture ourselves and other people. So those are all things I see for Scorpios. Now Scorpio, in January 2020, there might be something that keeps you away from your responsibilities due to your home life. So for some Scorpios in January, you could decide to take a trip with your family. You could decide to take a vacation away from work, but I definitely see you guys are going to be separated away from your job and spend more time at home or with your family or working with your family or something of that nature. So definitely this is going to be a time for you where you step away from your responsibilities to really take care of your home life and your inner life. Now I also want to tell you, with Jupiter South Node in your third house, Scorpio, this brings a lot of ups and downs and issues. So I see there's been a lot of ups and downs for you in regards to your siblings, or in regards to traveling, like traveling and your siblings and communication might have all been things that were very difficult for you or brought you a lot of karma, a lot of difficult things. And I want you to know that in January, those things are going to start to end if you remain positive. So if you have been struggling with a sibling, the sooner you heal that relationship with the sibling, the sooner you're going to manifest good reward. Okay, guys? And I also feel like a lot of your karma just is represented by anxiety with Jupiter South Node in your third house. A lot of you have been struggling with anxiety, anxious thoughts, paranoia. I really feel like, guys, a lot of this has to do with a lack of faith, in like the future. So there's a lot of fear for you guys. And in Aquarius season, if you want to manifest like peace of mind and good karma, work on that anxiety, guys, because you guys have a lot of anxiety, all right? And I really feel like the sooner you do, the sooner you'll get your blessings. So that's all I have for you. I hope you have a fantastic January, and I'll see you later. All right, Sagittarius, so this is your January 2020. So Mars is going to be in your first house of a personality and face. So this means, Sagittarius, you're going to feel a lot braver than normal. You're going to feel a lot more confident. You're going to feel a lot more bold. You're going to be more like out there in regards to your personality. So for some Sagittariuses who are timid or normally like to hide under the radar, with Mars in your first house, you're going to notice you put yourself out there more. You have a lot more confidence. You're a lot more courageous. You take more risks, and you do things that you wouldn't normally do. This also tells me that a lot of you as well, with the fifth house ruling, with Mars ruling your fifth house into your first house, you might want to do something really fun with your appearance or change up your appearance appearance in some way. And Sagittarius with Mars in your first house, this also means you're going to feel a lot more blunt, a lot more honest. You're going to be a lot more forthright about how you feel, and you're going to have a lot more energy and confidence than you normally do in January 2020. And it probably already started towards the end of December, but this is really going to manifest in January for you. So that is really positive. However, I do see like a tendency towards anger or a tendency towards like being too brash in your actions. So definitely watch out for that. Now, Sagittarius, what I'm seeing the universe is trying to teach you right now, and the reason why I'm going into this is because Aquarius season in January is the season of karmic reward, karmic justice, where we have to pay our karmic debts or we get karmic rewards. And our karma is dictated by the north and south nodes, which the north node is in your 8th house of Cancer and the south node is in the 2nd house of Capricorn, which means you're being taught to trust people, Sagittarius. You're being taught to learn how to be open to being intimate with other people while still keeping your values, while still remaining true to yourself, okay? And I see for you, Sagittarius, you're being called to learn to let other people into your life. You're being called to be more empathetic towards others, more open to others, and to also express yourself in a more authentic way, which might be why you decide to change your appearance, or why you decide that you just want to be bold and be yourself, because you are being pushed to letting other people see the real you, the more intimate you, the more vulnerable you, while still, with the south node being in Capricorn in your 2nd house, maintaining your boundaries and also maintaining your value system. So you Sagittarius are being pushed to find a balance between those two things. Now, Sagittarius, I do want to tell you in January, because Mars is going to be in your 1st house, especially if you're a woman, or identify as a woman, Mars rules the men coming into your life. So because you have Mars in your 1st house, Sagittarius, this means that a lot of men, if you're a woman or identify as a woman, are going to be attracted to you in January 2020. You're going to attract a lot of males who want to pursue you. A lot of males are going to show you a lot of interest in January 2020. What I'm also seeing with these north and south karmic nodes, Sagittarius, is you're being called to believe in yourself enough, believe in your talents enough to invest in them. So Sagittarius, I'm seeing this past year, and this manifests differently depending on if you're Sagittarius rising, sun, or moon. Rising signs, for Sagittarius risings, I sort of see with Jupiter south node conjunct in your 2nd house, some of you could have went through some ups and downs in regards to your financial situation, or in regards to your assets or your money, or like, for instance, you could have received like a financial windfall, or you could have received some sort of huge financial loss depending on what's going on with you. Or for some Sagittarius sun and moons, I'm seeing that you might have went through ups and downs in regards to how you feel about your talents, how much you value yourself. You might like go through back and forths where you stand for something one minute and then the next minute you don't stand for it anymore. Or you might be going through some self-esteem issues about how valuable you are in the world. But what I'm seeing, Sagittarius, is in Aquarius season, the season of karmic reward, you're being pushed to start believing in your talents as well as being intimate with others, and you're being pushed to start investing in your talents because you believe in yourself and you have faith in yourself. And I also see as well, you're being forced to find what your values are, not by other people, but by trying different things out as opposed to letting fear take over. Allow yourself to have new experiences as opposed to being so practical, as opposed to being stuck in your ways, because these experiences will lead you to your right path. And I see, Sagittarius, is a lot of you have fears of the unknown. A lot of you have fears of making the wrong choice. A lot of you withdraw from new experiences or unknown weird experiences because you have that fear. But what I'm seeing, Sagittarius, is in January you're going to be pushed of releasing those fears and trying something new, going out of your comfort zone, because going out of your comfort zone is where you are going to find happiness, is where you're going to find success, because some of the most successful people believed in themselves, invested in themselves, and because of that, They became some of the richest people in the world. Now, obviously, you might go through like ups and downs or failures, and that's normal because it's a learning experience. But Sagittarius, it's really time for you to start being intimate with people. It's time for you to start being vulnerable. Let yourself have unknown experiences. Let yourself have fun and make mistakes, okay? It's not going to be the end of the world if you make a mistake. And the more you stay stuck in the same old practical, the more unhappy you're going to be, and the more outside influences are going to come into your life, pushing you out of your comfort zone. And also, Sagittarius, as well, you're being pushed to learn how to receive, learn how to let other people take care of you, as opposed to you doing everything yourself. That's a very big thing for Sagittarius with these karmic nodes. And the more you let yourself receive from other people, the more good karma is going to manifest into your life in Aquarius season. And for you, Aquarius is in your 3rd house. So this means like the more you let yourself be authentic and vulnerable, the more communication is going to be easier for you, the more great ideas you're going to have because you're interacting with others and trading ideas and allowing yourself to speak your truth. So you're going to notice your speech is a lot clearer. You're going to notice you have a lot of brilliant ideas because you're letting yourself have unknown experiences which inspire you in your mind again and get your mind racing and bring you really divinely inspired ideas. That's what I see, Sagittarius, is a lot of your ideas and a lot of your creativity comes from having unknown experiences and going out of your comfort zone. And I also see as well with Venus going into Aquarius in your 3rd house, and Venus rules your 11th house and also your 6th house. I definitely see a lot of you are going to have a lot of great ideas in regards to work or for your future in January 2020. A lot of great divinely inspired ideas, guys. And I see a lot of women specifically helping you in January 2020, or working with a group of women, or traveling with a group of women, or talking to a group of women who help really inspire you in January 2020. So I see, like, you know, the more you get out of your comfort zone and are vulnerable, the more it's going to manifest as a lot of blessings for you. And that's why Mars is in your 1st house in January, to push you out of that comfort zone. So that's all I have for you. I hope you have a fantastic month, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, Capricorn, so this is what I see for you January 2020. So one thing I'm seeing for you guys is Mars is going to be in your 12th house, and Mars rules your 4th house of Aries. So Capricorn, I really feel like a lot of you are going to be feeling so selfless in January 2020. A lot of you might do a lot of selfless service towards your family. A lot of you could be feeling very spiritual. A lot of you could be feeling like you want to help others without any want for anything in return. This is going to be a very spiritual month for you, where you feel very unselfish, if that makes sense. Like, you want to do things for others out of the kindness of your heart. You want to help others by taking in people, like, I'm just going to name off some examples. You might want to take in people who have no home into your home. You might want to help your family even though it might hurt your personal life in some way. You might feel the need to just like give other people your time, your energy, and your emotions because you feel the need to help others selflessly. That's what January 2020 is going to be for you, Capricorn, where you're just feeling like very spiritual and you're feeling like you want to help others in any way you can because your empathy and your sympathy is going to be at an all-time high, and you're going to notice that you give a lot of your emotional support away to other people, and you're also going to notice that you will likely have to like do a lot for your family or give away a lot of your time and effort into your family in January 2020. Now, I also see for you guys too, Capricorn, a lot of you have been going through massive anxiety with Jupiter South Node in your 1st house of personality and appearance. So Capricorn, you might notice that you have a lot of ups and downs in the way you feel about yourself and your looks. You might notice you've had a lot of ups and downs in your anxiety, where one minute you feel great and the next minute you feel like crap. You might feel like and notice there's no stability in your life right now because of this conjunction of Jupiter South Node. And this is completely normal for you guys. But in the month of karmic justice, which is Aquarius season, the north and south nodes dictate what karmic rewards we get and what karmic debts we have to pay. And with your north node being in Cancer, Capricorn, the only way you can cure this anxiety, the only way you can cure this self-esteem issue that you might have been having recently is by giving selfless service to other people. That is how you're going to reap good karma. That's how you're going to cure your anxiety, and that's how you're going to feel better about yourself. The more you nurture others, the more you do for others out of the kindness of your heart, the better you're going to feel about yourself. And that's how you can solve this issue you've currently been having, Capricorn. For those Capricorns who have been giving selfless service to other people and have been actively helping others, your karma is going to manifest in Aquarius season in regards to financial windfalls, Capricorn. You will receive a raise, you will receive extra money, you will receive some sort of tangible extra income, because the sun, which is your 8th house ruler, is going into your 2nd house of assets. So this normally means you get like an inheritance. This normally means the government gives you a bonus, you get a raise, or this could also mean that those people you helped come back and they help you in some way, or give you a gift, or they show you their appreciation by giving you something of value. So Capricorn, in Aquarius season, you're going to see your good karma manifest as material blessings of other people offering themselves to you, and of a material spontaneous raise. So Capricorn, this is really the month of wealth for you, where you acquire wealth, especially if you're a Capricorn rising. However, if you are a Capricorn sun or moon, this could mean that you gain a lot of self-worth, or you feel like you have a lot more self-worth because of all of the good deeds that you've been doing, and you end up feeling very good about yourself. Also see, Capricorn, that a lot of you in January 2020, with Venus entering Pisces January 13th, a lot of you are going to be feeling super creative. A lot of you could decide to change your appearance to be more creative, or express yourself more creatively through your appearance. Or a lot of Capricorns could decide to take up creative writing, or a lot of Capricorns could decide to start doing their creative passion every day in January 2020. So you're definitely going to feel a lot more creatively inspired. You're going to have that spark of creative inspiration, Capricorn, especially since it's going to be conjunct Neptune in your 3rd house of Pisces. So Capricorn, you're going to notice in January, you're creative, you're doing creative writing, you're using your creativity to heal yourself and other people, and your creativity is what's going to bring you healing, relief, and joy, especially in terms of creative writing. Now, for other Capricorns, I see that a lot of you are going to end up being therapists to other people. With the Venus conjunct Pisces in your 3rd house, a lot of you could heal others with your words and your wisdom, and also heal others with what it is you have to say. But Capricorn, I just sort of see January is going to be a very spiritual month for you, where you let go a lot of your ego, and we all have ego, and you start to just want to be of service to others, and you start to only want to dabble in your passions and your creativity, and your passions and creativity bring you a lot of relief, a lot of joy, and a lot of healing. And another thing I see for you, Capricorn, as well, is be prepared to have a lot of heart-to-heart conversations with other people, where you reveal your truth, they reveal their truth, and you guys have like this huge heart-to-heart conversation that heals a lot of things from the past. So definitely expect healing conversations, healing relationships with honesty, being honest with other people being honest with you. And because of that, it transforms your relationships and heals a lot of pain in your life. So definitely expect to be very vulnerable in January, a lot more authentic, and also expect to wear your heart on your sleeve. And also, Capricorn, what I'm seeing about this is I definitely feel like in January 2020, I really feel like, because you have the North Node in your 7th house of Cancer, a lot of you have had a hard time seeing who people really are in relationships. You've had a lot of shocking revelations about the people around you. They weren't who you thought they were. They showed you sides of themselves that you didn't think even existed until it randomly came out, Capricorn. I'm sort of seeing you've just been very misled in the relationships around you recently, where the people didn't turn out to be who you thought they should be or were, or how they portrayed themselves in the beginning. So Capricorn, if you are around any people who are fake, or if you're around anybody who kind of put a mask on to please you, or if you're around anybody who is hiding their truest selves from you, in January 2020, I see that their mask is going to come out and you're going to see them for who they truly are, with the secrets of your 8th house being exposed to you in your 1st house. So this doesn't have to be bad. It could just mean, Capricorn, you see someone for who they are without their mask, or this could also mean that if someone around you isn't being true, you are going to find out in January 2020. Their secrets will not be kept from you. You're going to see exactly who the people around you really are, and they will reveal themselves to you. So that's also a positive if you think about it. So that's all I have for you, Capricorn, and I will see you later. Bye. Okay, Aquarius, so this is what I see for you, January 2020. So first of all, happy birthday to my Aquarius sons. But let's go into your prediction. Let's see what's going on. This has been a long video, guys. Excuse me, and I had to cram this out in one day. But pretty much what I see for you, Aquarius, is you've had the toughest time, I think, this year. And especially if you're an Aquarius rising, moon signs, sun signs, maybe. But if you're an Aquarius rising, you've had the toughest year, because these few years have been years of karma with Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn. And guess what? Aquarius and Capricorn are the karmic signs, and you have that as your rising sign, sun or moon. So anyone who's a Capricorn or an Aquarius has had to go through massive change, massive transformation, and has went through a bit of a struggle in the last year and in the past few years. And that's because if you are an Aquarius rising or you have Aquarius sun moon, normally you come here to transform in a very big way. And what I'm seeing for you, Aquarius, is that recently you guys have had a lot of issues with your work or your job. You've had a lot of ups and downs with work or your job, or maybe even conflicts at your work or job, because you have North Node, Jupiter next to each other in the 6th house, which means sudden ups and downs. So Aquarius, as you could have noticed, you have like a lot of enemies, a lot of competition. You might notice like you feel like you have a lot of enemies, or you feel like everyone's against you, or you might have even noticed as well that a lot of you just had like job issues. You had issues finding community. You've had issues finding what it is that gives you passion that you want to do during the day, or maybe this could even have manifested as ups and downs in your health or anything like that. Anything to do with 6th house matters. Now, I also see that a lot of you have just had a lot of anxiety in general, kind of like the Capricorns, but with the karmic season of Aquarius, the only way you can fix that with the North Node in your 6th house is by working out, is by giving to others and being kind to others and being kind to your enemies. The only way you can fix that is by doing a job that really resonates with you. And also the only way you can fix that is having a open demeanor or a softer demeanor, okay? So Aquarius, a lot of your anxiety, a lot of the issues that you're having is more internal, to be honest with you, because when you have the South Node in the 12th house, this normally means you have like paranoia, delusions, or this could even manifest sometimes as like you just feel more safe and comfortable if you're alone, or you feel safe and comfortable if you are in your own little headspace because you're scared of what's out there, or because you feel like you don't fit in anywhere. But Aquarius, what I'm seeing, the only way you can fix that is by giving selfless service, or by doing something during the day you are really passionate about. The only way you're going to cure this karmic anxiety with your North Node in the 6th house of Cancer is by working out, taking care of your health, and also by doing things only because you really feel like doing it. Working a job that you don't feel like doing is not going to bring you happiness, and it's going to amp up that anxiety. Working a job that you're not passionate about with these karmic nodes in your 6th house is going to amp up that anxiety. Okay, so Aquarius, if you want to fix that in Aquarius season, start nurturing your passions and hobbies. Stop trying to do something just because it's what you know or what's practical. Start doing something you truly believe in throughout the day. Start working out. That's the only way you're going to cure this anxiety that you are dealing with. And also the 6th and 12th house deals with enemies, okay? So with the South Node in the 12th house, this could mean like feeling automatically like people don't like you, or feeling automatically like the world's out to get you. The only way you're going to cure that with the North Node in the 6th house is by being open. Like, so what if someone's your enemy? So what if, you know, like who cares? Kill them with kindness. That's the big message I heard for you, Aquarius. Kill them with kindness. You will win in the end. You won't win any other way except by killing them with kindness. And if you do that, you will defeat your enemies. You will defeat this paranoia that you have going on right now, Aquarius. And with Sun in your first house in January, besides all that, Aquarius, this means that a lot of Aquariuses are going to attract very powerful people into their lives. They're going to attract very confident, proud individuals a lot. They're going to attract partners, people, or relationships of people who are really confident, who are really powerful, who are leaders. That's what it means when the Sun is in your first house, since it rules the 7th house. Now, if you're in a relationship, this could also mean there could be some fights with a relationship in your life, with a close relationship in your life. Okay, I do see that. And also, Aquarius, I see a lot of you have a lot of job dissatisfaction, work or school dissatisfaction. And what I see, Aquarius, is through this past year, you were really being pushed to develop new talents. Maybe you've already had talents in the past, but Aquarius, this year you're really being pushed to finding more talents that you have, more hidden talents you have, more past life talents you have that you haven't unlocked yet. That's why work or school hasn't been satisfying, because it's been forcing you to find what other talents you possess. It's been forcing you to develop the talents you already possess that maybe you put off to the corner. Aquarius, this for you was all about a year of finding your passions, finding your talents, and cultivating them. So Aquarius, if you feel like work has ups and downs, if you feel a lack of passion at work, if you feel like you don't feel like you're good at anything, nothing you do amounts to anything, that's because Jupiter's in your 12th house. That's okay. What this is trying to get you to do is push you towards trying new things out, practicing new talents, embracing new talents. Do a bunch of things even if you fail, because Aquarius, what I see for you is if you do this, if you let yourself release things that are no longer making you happy, if you stop worrying what other people are doing, if you release jobs or situations or old ways that are no longer working, and just let yourself explore these new talents and try something new. When Jupiter goes into your first house, I see blessings coming to you. So try to release those fears. Try to release fears of the unknown. Try to release anxieties. Try to not care if, people don't like you or whatever. Who cares? Just develop your talents at this time. With Neptune in your 2nd house and Venus going there January 13th and Venus ruling your 4th house and also your 9th house, this is about just sitting by yourself, working on your talents. This is about doing things that you truly feel like doing things out of the passion of your heart, not because you feel like you have to. And if you do this, if you keep letting yourself do this, a lot of your anxiety is going to go away. A lot of the pressure is going to go away. And also, when Jupiter hits your 1st house next year, it's your time to shine. So that's all I have for you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later, Aquarius. Okay, Pisces, so this is what I see for you, January 2020. So what I want to tell you, I don't know if I've told you Pisces before yet, but you guys are going to have a really good 2020, especially if you're a Pisces rising, because you have Jupiter South Node in your 11th house, and Jupiter loves being there. That means easy money, easy success, easy recognition. So Pisces, you are really going to have a blessed 2020, and I really want to let you know about that. So money is easily going to come your way. Good luck is easily going to come your way. Recognition, this is Pisces' year to shine pretty much. And Pisces, you also have Saturn, Pluto in your 11th house. You have Jupiter there. So what I'm seeing, Pisces, is especially if you're a Pisces rising, but I also feel like this works with Sun and Moon. If you are a Pisces, this is the year where any wish that you make will come true, will solidify your future. Pisces, more than anyone, you should be the ones manifesting. Manifest, make wishes. Any manifestations or wish that you do will come true, especially with Saturn and Pluto there, making it permanent in your 11th house. Whatever thoughts, ideas, and beliefs you have about the future will manifest as your future, and it will be solidified with Saturn and Pluto. So if you guys are feeling negative about your future, guess what? Saturn and Pluto is going to make that negative vision a reality. However, if you guys are thinking positively, if you have good hopes for the future, if you know what you want for the future, if you can envision it and believe in yourself, with Saturn, Pluto, and your wishes coming true, it will solidify it and it will bring you everything that you've ever wanted. So Pisces, you more than anyone should be manifesting. You more than anyone should be thinking positively and know what you want for the future, because all of those ideas that you have, that you think positive thoughts into, are going to manifest for you, Pisces. You are the luckiest sign in January 2020 and in the year of 2020 because of this. So guys, whatever you want your future to be, you can make it, okay? Manifest it. Take this opportunity. This is amazing. I'm jealous of you guys. You are the future. You guys right now are the ones that you're gonna see get like random fame, random financial windfall. That's all going to happen for Pisces in 2020, and Saturn, Pluto will solidify it. So be sure to be thinking positive and also manifesting. So in January, Venus, the planet of love, beauty, harmony, is going to be in your first house, which means because it rules your 8th house of Libra and your 3rd house of Taurus, and it's in your first house, this means, Pisces, your speech is going to be beautiful. People are going to find you sexy. Your sex appeal is going to be up because you have the 8th house ruler in your first house. And the 8th house is all about sex appeal, intimacy, and it's ruled by Venus, and it's going to be in your face and personality. So Pisces, people are going to find you very attractive, very seductive in January 2020. You can notice you get checked out more, you get more compliments. You could just be looking at yourself in the mirror going, wow, yeah. You know, you're just gonna notice like your looks are very seductive and it catches people's eye, and it might even catch your own eye in the mirror, to be honest. So Pisces, your looks are just, and especially conjunct Neptune, Pisces, in your first house, your looks are going to be like, wow. Okay, especially if you're a Pisces rising, your looks, the way you speak, everyone is going to be in awe of you. All eyes are going to be on you. I kind of feel like the only thing that's been, you know, not so great for you is some of you might have had issues with the community or finding a group of people or fitting in with friends, or like sudden ups and downs with friends, or maybe you're unclear of what you want for the future. Maybe you have a hard time finding groups that you fit into, like friendships don't last, you know. I just sort of see all those things have been an issue for you, Pisces, but who cares? You're getting success. You're getting a lot of great things coming for you in January 2020, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. And also with Mars being in your 10th house, guys, which rules your 2nd house, you're definitely going to be noticed or recognized for your talents, okay? There's going to be money. Like there's so many good things for Pisces, especially if you're a Pisces rising. I can't even name it all off. This is probably the best, most lucky horoscope. The only thing that did pop into my head though was the 7 of Wands and the Tarot for some reason when I was reading your chart. So I do feel like a lot of you could get some unwanted attention or some unwanted spotlight on you where you might feel a little uncomfortable. It might be too much attention. So be careful of that, or, you know, just watch out for that. That's just sort of something I was seeing when I looked at your chart. But that's all I have for you, Pisces. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye.